Today I'm going to make tacos de nada, or tacos of nothing. So here I have 2 medium and 1 small potato. And all I'm going to do is give these a really good rinse and just scrub the exterior until you remove all the debris. And I'm going to add them to a pot of water. I'm going to place this on the stove, and I'm going to bring my pot of water up to a boil. I'm going to go ahead and cover it with a lid. And I'm just going to cook these until they are cooked through and tender, or until my chopstick can go through a potato and release without any resistance. So now that these are done, I'm going to remove them from my pot of water. I'm going to set them aside to allow them to cool before I peel the skin. Next, I'm going to work on 2 different salsas. Here I'm going to be using 1 medium to large tomato. I'm also going to be using 5 dried guajillo chiles and 3 chile árbol. The chile árbol is where the spice is going to come from. Here I have a very small piece of onion and 1 fresh clove of garlic. That's also going to go into this. So what I'm going to do next is remove the stems and the seeds from my chile guajillos. In the chile árbol, I left the seeds and just removed the stems. So you'll want to wash and rinse these well to remove any debris. I'm going to add water to my pot, and I'm going to bring my pot of dried chiles up to a boil. I'm going to cover with the lid to expedite the process. And for those of you wondering, this is a ramen noodle pot. I bought this at a Korean supermarket. So once it comes up to boil, I'm going to shut off the heat. And I'm going to add the tomato, onion, and garlic into the steeping water and just let this steep and set for about 15 to 20 minutes or until the dried chiles are soft and pliable. Okay, so it's been around 15 minutes, so I'm going to add everything into my blender cup. Once everything's in the blender cup, I'm going to add tomato flavored chicken bouillon powder, salt to taste, some of that steeping liquid. You could also add fresh water if the steeping liquid is bitter. And now just puree well. Once it's blended and pureed, I'm going to strain this in a fine wire mesh strainer. And you'll want to taste it for salt and seasoning and adjust to your preference. So I'm going to set this aside until I'm ready to use it. So for the green salsa, I'm going to use 2 tomatillos, and these are large. I'm going to use 1 jalapeno. I'm also going to use a small piece of onion and 1 clove of garlic, and I'm going to leave the skin on because now I'm going to saute everything, and if you leave the skin on the garlic, it prevents it from burning. So I'm going to saute this over a medium to medium-high heat for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to add 1 cup of water. I'm going to cover this with a lid and allow it to simmer and cook for about 5 minutes. Once it's done, I'm going to shut off the heat and add this to my blender cup. I'm going to add that liquid, some chicken bouillon powder, salt to taste, and puree. Now that it's done, I'm going to pass this through a fine wire mesh strainer and set this aside until I'm ready to use it. And those are the 2 salsas that I'm going to be topping my tacos with. So now that my potatoes have cooled enough so that I can peel them, I'm just going to remove all of the skin. And boiling your potatoes with the skin on actually yields more potato. You waste less of it instead of peeling with a knife. So I'm going to give these a mash. I'm going to season with some salt and pepper to taste. And I'm going to continue mashing these and mixing these until they are thick and paste-like. So I've warmed up my corn tortillas, and now I'm going to show you why they call them tacos de nada. You basically smear a little bit of your mashed potato onto the corn tortilla, and this really is a little bit, and you just give it a press and fold, and that's it. Once all of my tacos are assembled, I'm going to start frying them in oil. And I'm just going to fry these until they are deep golden brown and crispy. So I managed to get close to 16. I ran out of corn tortillas, but I probably could have made 16 to 18 of these. So I'm going to shred some fresh cabbage. You could also use lettuce. And once it's thinly shredded or chopped, I'm going to give it a good rinse in cold water. And this will be ready to top my tacos de nada. So some people call these tacos de nada or just tacos dorados. But adding the red and the green salsa and topping it with cabbage and cotija cheese and crema is basically inspired by Loncheria Lupita. She's located in Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico, and she's famous for these tacos de nada. You can top how you like and enjoy. I hope you give this recipe a try. I hope you like it, and thanks for watching.